So I started in January 2020, new boss, new company, awesome office overlooking the lake. My training was going really good. And then overnight, COVID started, we went into a lockdown, and I wasn't anywhere near fully trained yet. Obviously, I was having to rely on a few phone calls a day with my boss just to continue training. I lost an uncle due to COVID. It was a tough time, man. I was trying to manage my own psychology. I was trying to stay positive, and I feared the worst. I guess fast forward 1 year on, I'm fully trained now. I am more optimistic about the challenges that are thrown at me, as opposed to being nervous about them, which is how I was about 6 to 7 months ago. And we had a really successful 2020. And I attribute my position to a few things, and I wanted to give advice to people who are starting a new job in a pandemic, I guess, especially something like mine. The first of which, and I think the most important, is treat it like it's your own business. I mean, if I was treating the tasks that were given to me as just a box-ticking exercise to keep the boss happy, well, they probably wouldn't have been done to the standard that I guess would be acceptable in a pandemic or in a time like that. So I really started to think to myself, if this was my own business, if I was paying for my own time, would I do these things? Would I do it this way? Would I waste my time on this? So I really wasn't just trying to keep the bosses happy and trying to keep my job. I just wanted to be the best version of myself. I wanted to become the best version of me. So that's number one, treat it like your own business. Number two, I mean, this is pretty silly, but just work for a good company. I was really lucky. Chapman Freeborn were awesome to me. Management were having monthly calls with us, and there was banter, there was serious talk. My immediate boss was very patient with me. He never once didn't take my phone call, and I attribute a lot of my successful training to him, of course. HR, I was getting random calls from the HR lady. How are you doing? How's your mental health? How can we help you? I mean, you don't get that at every company. So that's something I felt really grateful for. The third thing is, I'm really lucky that I'm doing something that I really enjoy. So aviation is my favorite academic interest by a long shot. And I have a degree in it, I have a pilot's license. The stuff that I had to learn really quick, like what can we fit on an Antonov AN-124? What's the constraints of importing and exporting out of China? What's the range of a 747? What's the best aircraft for moving XYZ? That's the kind of stuff I would have learned even if this wasn't my job. This is just a hobby of mine. So do something you like. You hear that a lot, but it's so true. And the last thing is I started getting into some Stoic philosophy, right? And the Stoics have a phrase, amor fati. And what amor fati translates to is the love of fate. So no matter how stressed I was, no matter what was going on, you have to love and accept fate, my friends, because that's the only thing that we can do.